catch to the right, goal! Everything you wanted from this debut. It's branded by taking a shot with the left, goal! Isaac Frank from 25 yards out. The equalizer. Will Kidd with the touch of the goal. It's a go-ahead goal. Minneapolis City.
This is the People's Pitch Podcast, the official podcast of your Minneapolis City Soccer Club, brought to you by Summit Brewing Company.
Do not adjust your sound, folks. This is the People's Pitch Podcast, and we're recording this week's show live from the Hall of Champions, the home of your Minneapolis City Soccer Club. I am John, your gracious host, and I am joined, as always, by Nate Morales. Nate, this is pretty different in a good way, isn't it?
It definitely smells different than my basement here at Champions Hall. But not much different, which is...
There's more dudes in it.
Definitely a lot more dudes. This is pretty cool. It'll be good to get a front row seat to training tonight.
Yeah, you'll get a chance to see the U23s play. You haven't seen a lot of those guys before.
No. So piled on to all that action, we've got some podcast action this week. Aris made their annual pilgrimage to get waxed in Minneapolis, and we'll tell you how that went.
The nice to see you trip.
Yep. We'll do a rundown of the rest of the NPSL North really quickly, and we will preview the first U23 game of the season.
Yeah,
which is
the
coming
Rookery.
Up. Yeah, and we're going to get ready for game day as we welcome the Sioux Falls Thunder to the friendly confines on Friday.
Let's see what we can do dodging soccer balls, and I'm sure someone's going to let one fly over here.
Let me know. I got my back to
Yeah, I'll be your eyes and ears. And there's a shouty match happening in front of us at some point. So let's get started.
So slow and steady, John. That's how you win the race, or at least that's what they tell me.
Yeah.
We slowly and steadily dismantled the visiting LaCrosse Aris last Friday. Let's start the recap with who we started and who was on the bench for Minneapolis City.
So a little bit different look this year, in past years as well. No big game James.
Yep.
No Matt Elder. Getting his first start for Minneapolis City, Troy Luegi. And then your backline was pretty much the same as it was against Sioux Falls. It was Ao, Max Kent, Jonah Garcia, and then Mark Haight coming in for Zuhair Alabasi. Chuck Max and then Martin Brown Jr. making the start over a non-existent Samuel Ruiz Plaza, who was out. Mm-hmm. And then your front three of, I'm going to call them WOW.
The WOW.
Will, Oliver, and Whitney.
Yeah, I like that.
They need a nickname. They're not the Bash Brothers.
No, they got to earn it.
Yeah, they got to earn it. So we'll start with WOW.
Wow.
And then on the bench you had Kevin Hoof, Abdallah Ba, Ben Wexler, Timmy Wills, Kevin Andrews, Siku Chroma, and Nick Hutton, who we'll get into here quite a bit.
Not a bad bench. So John Aris came out in what looked like a 4-4-2. The other two center midfielders able to play a little deep to try and kind of frustrate our midfield movement. City started in the same formation as last week. What are the coaches calling that, John? Is that like a 4-1-2-3?
Those are the things that I can't make public for you. What I can tell you, though, Nate, is that there was 11 players started. Yep. Some subs were made. Mm-hmm. And they were in a formation, and we ended the game in a formation in 11 players.
Good. So all 11 players...
we played soccer.
Good. That's good to hear. So let's talk about the WOW factor here early. The interplay up front in this game between Will Kidd, Whitney Brown, and Justin Oliver was just spectacular, producing something like 3 shots at least on target in the first 10 minutes. All those shots saved really well, I thought, by the Aris keeper. His name is Alamos. Mm-hmm. I think that guy was one of the few bright spots.
He had a
Aris.
big job to do.
Yeah, he was really good early. I think his team sacrificed him on the altar of terrible play late in the game, but he was one of the reasons that it was a low-scoring first half.
Yeah, I would say so. I mean, we didn't do him any favors. There was a lot of balls that went directly at him, but he was keeping them in it.
Sure. Martin Brown Jr. even besides the wow factor, Martin Brown Jr. got in on the attacking fun. He found some space up the middle, just missed wide left with that was
a nice 1-2 play.
Low-driven shot. I just caressed the outside edge of the goalpost, so close. But really, it was at 23, at the 23rd minute. Finally, one of these attacks paid off. The interplay, like I was saying, the passing between Will and Whitney and Justin. One guy making runs, a lot of through balls going through. but nothing coming to fruition until Whitney was dribbling up the left side. He had Oliver kind of trailing off of his right shoulder, and what Whitney did is he made his defender think he was gonna pass it. He was gonna play that through ball.
He had passed.
Well, they've been doing that all day, or so far for the first 20 minutes.
He had passed the entire time to his streaking wing overlap.
Yep.
And finally, it was kind of like the screw it moment.
Yep. And he instead he just took that long range shot. And this one almost could not stop from going into the right corner. So it's 1-0 City. It's really rare to get perturbed, John, when we haven't scored in the first 20 minutes of a soccer game.
But we do.
But we do against Aris. And when this goal went in, I was just like, God, geez, finally.
Yeah, there were so many chances. And I kept thinking to myself, are we going to get stuck with another one of these games where we get hit on a counter and end up drawing a game against a team we shouldn't, or we end up having to claw our way out for 3 points. We completely lose the shutout, but we held together. And I think it's hard at times to stay focused when the chips are falling not in your favor. But that's exactly what we did. We stayed focused, and we didn't totally shit the bed.
Yeah, we didn't totally shit the bed, but I would say that besides the Whitney goal, City was really not playing up to snuff against Aris early. I'll tell you, distribution out of the back was a problem. We saw that a number of times, which led to some even a dangerous-looking counterattack from Aris, which is a rare sight to see. Players were counting on their individual skills to beat the whole Aris team, which didn't work. And
it worked, but it didn't. We didn't pull it off.
Right. And all I could think of was like, City, play better, please. Please play better.
Please play better. I think essentially this is the second week in a row where I felt we were again in the right places at the right time. But we were definitely playing down to our competition in both weeks, I believe. But we're in the right places in the right time, which is encouraging from an offensive third perspective.
Yeah.
But I think this is the last week I'm going to say it's encouraging, and after this week, it's going to be a demand. Like, we have to score goals when we're in those areas. So it's something that we're going to talk about in a little bit. That we did score goals, and we're finishing at a better rate than we were in the first game. Sure. But still, like, it's got to start happening quick.
Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with taking a couple real games to really click on the attack.
When you're not in training playing against the same guys.
Right,
yeah.
7 goals in 2 games is not bad, even though one of those games was against Aris.
It sits us atop the points lead.
Yep. But I hear you that, if we can't convert the chances that we have clearly had over the last 2 weeks, and it starts to become a habit, then it's a problem.
Even like 3 out of 5.
We're going to stop getting those chances.
Yep.
Against teams like Duluth, against teams like Med City.
Yep.
You got to convert the
teams like
chances
Twin Stars.
Yep.
I mean, if you're finishing at a clip of like what do we say? We're at probably like a 1 to 10 ratio of finishing.
Yeah.
10%. If we're finishing at 30%, we're blowing teams away. So that margin of correction isn't that much that we need. We just need to get there.
Yep. And speaking of chances, man, 2 great chances closed out the first half. One from Justin Oliver, another one from Whitney, that could have put us further ahead going into the locker room, but
it didn't.
But it didn't, as most of the chances did in that half. Oliver just missed wide right. Really nice shot across the face of the goal, but just didn't go into the opposite net, into the side netting. Whitney was incorrectly called for offsides on his shot. Looked a little iffy, I would say. We showed what's his name? Tyler showed me the replay up in the booth. So it turns out it's 1-0 at halftime. Definitely consternation between you and me and Nordo and everyone in the booth. I can't assume that the attitude was much better in the locker room.
See, the great part about these guys is they don't need to be pressed too hard that they're not playing well or that what they're doing is not the right thing to do. Mm-hmm. They have a good self-awareness that they're underperforming. And so the locker room probably was likely a lot of guys saying, this is the problem, forget this shit, let's just get back to business and play our game.
Yeah.
And even teams at the highest level have to go through that. Like, you tend to play down to your competition or up to your competition. And it's the true championship teams that put people away because they're just that much better than they are. So I think that we'll get into the second half, but I think the response was made.
Yeah. I think in the second half, I noticed right away, Aris came out disrespecting us. 4 men, like they're 4. Not only they're
what were they doing?
not only the 2 forwards, but their 2 wingers were basically dancing on our back line, threatening to make runs. Obviously unimpressed with our potential to hurt them, but right away, I mean, within the first couple minutes, Oliver tries to dribble the team again, which he'd been doing the first half.
Yeah, not his best day.
And he ends up getting clipped outside the box for a free kick, which was I think probably the best result you could have asked for in that situation.
Yeah,
considering his record, how
he'd been losing his 1v1 battles all day.
Yes.
And his passing was off. Obviously, his finishing was off too. So it wasn't necessarily an A+ event for him. But he's kept battling, which is what you want to see.
Yeah, and he put himself in the right place and won us a free kick right outside the box. And Martin steps up and he does his thing. It's a perfectly curled left-footed shot that ends up in the upper left corner, bouncing off the underside of the crossbar and going in, and it's 2-0 City. How does Martin keep doing this, John? This is like his signature.
I mean, hey, I'll take it.
Yes.
But after Max took the ball from him in the first half and didn't convert, I was willing to sell my stake in the franchise that he was taking the kick if it ever happened again, and it did. Last season, we almost dared teams to foul us in like those locations of the field because he was so successful and so deadly on free kicks. So he just did his thing with ease, and you got the roars of oohs and ahs from the fans. Like it's just so fun to see. Cool goal celebration, but that goal was the slap in the face that we needed. I think it was the key pivot point that basically took us to reality setting in and everything unlocking for us to just start taking over. It completely crushed LaCrosse. Any hope that they had of even trying to tie the game or eke out a draw, because they were never going to beat us.
No, and they could have pulled one unlucky goal back.
Yeah,
but two, I don't think so. So. The 60-minute mark brought two important subs for City that I want to talk about really quickly, and that's Kevin Andrews, who made his Minneapolis City debut, and Nick Hutton, who came on for Justin Oliver.
He just played a really good pass, Nick Hutton.
We'll get to Nick and his impact on the game in a second, but I want to get your thoughts on what Kevin Andrews brought to the game. First time I've seen him in action, dancing up and down that left wing, looking really good one-on-one, doing some tricky stuff. A couple offside runs, but looking dangerous.
I think it was the perfect introduction to soccer at this level for Kevin. He was able to get in, knock the nerves off, get some quality playing time that will lend itself to when he's called upon when guys in other jerseys are better at soccer.
Yeah.
So you don't have to test him in those waters. From a playing standpoint, I thought he mentioned he did some nice things individually, showed his individual kind of flair a little bit there, fought hard on 1v1 battles, didn't necessarily get pushed around the ball. But mostly the play of the game was mostly on the opposite side of the field to him. So he didn't have a lot of chances. But I think that you got a chance to see one thing that's important, and that's that sorry, there's a ball firing at me. You see that he belongs at this level.
Sure. Yep.
Regardless of his age.
So 75th minute, and Will Kidd makes a dangerous diagonal run into the box. And unlike in the first half, when he did the same thing and it was knocked over, an ensuing foul was actually called. Max Siegert sets up, and he buries the PK, and it is 3-0 suddenly. The avalanche has begun late in the game, a little later than we would have expected, but it's still happening.
To quote one of my old coaches, the shitbag finally sprung a leak.
Yes. And after a good effort early, like we pointed out, Aris is now just trying to avoid embarrassment, right? Like the game is out of their reach. They're not going to come back 3 goals back.
But they did fight hard.
They did the attitude was much better than it has been in years past.
And it gives a sense that everyone in the league, even the bottom half, has leveled up.
Yep, totally. So, unfortunately, that embarrassment could not be avoided. The quest would go unfulfilled for them. In the 89th minute, this baffling pass by that Aris player, who was trapped in the corner, doesn't really get to a central defender, which, by the way, is like the thing that they yell at 8-year-olds about. Like, don't pass the ball to the middle of the defense. Don't pass the ball in front of the net.
It's like you're reading my show notes. So
he passes the ball. It doesn't go to the central defender. It doesn't go to the waiting goalkeeper. It kind of splits them, and it finds Nick Hutton, who's streaking up the middle of the field. Probably the easiest goal of his career, and it's 4-0.
So that pass by the Aris defender was total panic and lack of experience. There's no other way to describe it. There is never a case at any level of soccer, as you mentioned, where it makes any sense to kick a ball under pressure of that magnitude in a level like this. Let me just say, at a level at all, across the middle of your own goal box.
Yeah, that's
like you're at the least okay with giving up a corner kick.
Yeah,
like at the least,
yep.
like, and hoping for something better. But it's not literally kicking it back out into pressure,
hoping that somebody's there.
Yeah,
right into pressure.
Like, our goalie's got this. Nope, you literally kicked it to forward.
So 4-0, and it's what, the 90th minute. But Hutton added his second of the day in extra time off of continued pressure that we decided to start putting on Aris. I don't know. Do you think it was late subs and some inexperience that kind of caused this breakdown, or what? Because two goals off of pressure there at the end of the game. This one where Hutton forces a bad decision by the defender, who basically hesitates as Nick is rushing right at him.
Sure.
Just tries to pass the ball straight past him forward, and it instead bounces off his knee. And Nick's off to the races.
And he just capitalized on it.
He's alone with only the goalkeeper to beat, and it's 5-0, and that's the game.
I mean, I think it was more of they didn't give up by any means, but it was just more of like, we got our shit together, and the better team that had the most talent took over.
Yeah.
And then it was just a matter of time, and we were going to score goals. Unfortunately, they came like two of them in the 90 plus minutes. But they still happened. They still count. It doesn't matter if they happen in the 90-plus minute or the first minute.
Sure.
We got two goals, and it was just clearly Nick Hutton beast mode time.
Well, I mean, the other alternative would be we piled 5 goals on him in 60 minutes and coasted for a half hour.
Yeah.
So I'd rather the team
maybe picked up an injury or something.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'd rather the team work through adversity a little bit, get their shit together, figure it out, and bring it together right at the end. So you and Nordo caught up with Nick on the sideline during the game cast. Let's listen to that audio a little bit.
Hey, what's up, fellas?
Hey, Nick Hutton, it's Eric Nordquist and John Bisworm. Congratulations on the victory tonight, man.
Yeah, we turned out to put a good one in the end. Frustrating first half a little bit, but the adjustments were good, and we got going.
And speaking of adjustments, you are a second-half substitute. You had fresh eyes from the bench, and how did you see kind of that second half evolve from Martin Brown getting that free kick tally, and then things just kind of disintegrated into a situation where you were able to really take advantage, turn on the Jets, and score a couple there at the end?
Yeah, I mean, I think you got to give it an outrageous amount of credit to Marty for bearing that, because the tension just really cut. You're not worried about them countering you in a tie game. You can start to play with a little bit of confidence and composure. You're not really forcing it anymore. Now you start to have a fun game, not a frustrating game. And that's kind of what we did. Started playing each other and getting on some chances.
So take us through your first goal. It was a little bit difficult for us to see what happened here. Obviously, we stepped up and we put pressure on the back line. But what were you seeing to be kind of Johnny on the spot to be able to bury that one?
I mean, I was the center forward breaking off the center of the field, and they passed it right past the goalie to the middle of their sixth for standing. I can't take too much credit for that, and it was a roller. So AO and Timmy and those guys were in deep, pressuring them. They panicked, and I was able to spend a factor from it.
So we've talked a little bit about your athleticism and kind of your drive, but your second goal was out of purely just that. You see an opportunity to pounce on the center backs. Usually you're deployed out wide. What kind of happened in that breakdown, and what made you go into challenging the center back to get that ball?
I mean, I was hoping for it all game. They had big, strong center backs, relatively athletic, but not amazing feet. So make them actually think about it. This guy thought on it. I jumped it, got a tackle, and then it's a foot race that I feel confident anytime I get in one of those with these guys. And then it's having a look at the goalie and have a cool, calm finish. But I think in some of these frustrating games that guys are, it's not working, and we just have to outwork some of the frustrations, work a little bit harder, work a little bit faster, and then there's some of the sparks come in. You're not thinking about it. You're just playing the ball as you're supposed to.
And you mentioned
it's fun.
That keyword, last one for you here, Nick, and thanks for your time. You mentioned the word confidence, and looking back at the Dakota Fusion game, kind of catching the vibe that, hey, there were so many scoring opportunities and we had trouble finishing. And then we saw some of that early on in this match. But you see this second frame, you see a bit of an explosion offensively. Is this something
that you guys can build upon and take with you, not only just tonight with the victory, but also moving forward to keep that train moving into future matches?
I mean, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, it's a confidence thing. If this team has confidence, it's extremely dangerous. And then just having a little bit of pride in our finishing. I mean, there's nights I get on where I can't make a goal, and I've got 10 chances. That's what a couple of the other guys in the first half had. And, Witt got a nice goal. Will Kidd and Justin are going to get on a ton of goals this year. It's just tonight wasn't the chances to finish, and then by the time it started, we played a little better. I was in there to get the chances.
Hey, thanks so much for your time, man. Congratulations on getting a couple of late tallies there. In one case, right guy, right place, right time, but they all count, my man. Congratulations on the 3 points. Take care, man.
All right.
Thanks a lot, Nick. Go to Palmer's.
So one of the key points that Nick made in his post-game interview was that when faced with frustration, as we've been talking about, when things aren't going as planned, the team needs to outwork the problem. Is that
Spoken like a track person.
Yeah. Is that what you saw once we really got rolling in the second half? Is that kind of what you feel like we did?
It is exactly what I saw.
Yeah.
We got our shape back. We started to do things. But I think the subs came on and did the job of putting life into a barely warm body. And in the first half, a barely warm body from the first half, I should say. And we're able to take the learnings from the first half from watching on the sidelines of what not to do and applying almost right away when they got on what they should be doing. I think Nick made another great point, like you mentioned, just outworking the problem. But he also said that if it isn't Justin's day or Timmy's day or Will's day or Whitney's day, whoever, if they're not firing, it's the other guys that need to step up, and they will. And it was his day to step up.
Sure.
And on Friday, it was all Nick. And that was patented Hutton soccer effort and the high intensity that we needed at that time.
Yeah, absolutely. So we heard similar things when I talked to Whitney after the game. Let's roll on that quickly. All right, I'm here with goal scorer Whitney Brown. Whitney, first goal of the night, first goal from that forward line on the season. How does that feel to kind of break the duck for the attackers?
I'll say it feels really good to get one to go in. The last game came really close, but couldn't get it to go in. So just this game, we struggled a little bit at the beginning as far as being able to put our chances away. So just by seeing one go in, it was a really good feeling.
Yeah. Forwards definitely looking dangerous tonight. Talk about your interplay along that front line between the 3 and 4 of you, and how you're communicating those dangerous runs. One of you would make a run, the other guy, like in your case, Oliver was threatening the run. You decided not to pass it off and went for the shot, but there are a number of times that you guys were just all over the back line, buzzing through. How do you organize that?
Yeah, I think we're still creating a good chemistry, but what helped us a lot is like our front three are really fast. So we can play numerous spots, whether it's Justin at the 9 or me at the 9 or Will Kidd. So we're able to just interchange and keep the game flowing that way based on what we see.
You mentioned it, man. A number of unanswered chances there in that first 20 minutes. What's the mindset that you need to keep up in order to play through that and to press on and eventually get that goal?
I think the mindset is like you can't give up. It's soccer. Sometimes, you're not going to always get that chance that you want, but you have to keep going. And in this case, we kept fighting and we were able to get a goal. And as the game went on, more goals, came through. So, yeah.
Sioux Falls coming to town next week. And then I think the real test is going to start as we go up against Duluth, against Twin Stars, and then against Med City. What needs to get done? What kind of preparation, both mental and game planning, needs to be done before you guys face off against the real contenders in the conference?
I think we need to just stay together as a team, stay organized, keep communicating. I think that's something we can do more of, and just don't take anyone lightly. Last year we were able to win the conference, so I think we're going to get everyone's best shot, and we know it, so we just have to come prepared for every game.
All right, man. Goal scorer Whitney Brown tonight, first of the 5 on the night for Minneapolis City. Thanks a lot, Whitney.
Thanks, man. So
mindset is going to be key, John, especially as we hit a stretch of road games coming up, right?
Mm-hmm. So with us, we have to have that kind of solid short-term memory where we need to forget the missed little things, the bad passes out of the center back spots, the missed chances that we've had. We need to forget all of that and just keep at it. And like you said, it's got to happen every single game. Like, you can't think about I missed a shot against LaCrosse when you're playing against Med City. Like you forget all that shit, and you just keep pushing forward. And it's funny how I thought it was funny how he's just like, yeah, our front three is like just really fast. Like, they are really fast.
That's true.
Like, you don't think of Will Kidd being like a speed guy, but he's fast and he's strong. And anyone that we throw up there, and then you bring a guy like Hutton on, and he's like faster than all of them.
Yep.
You know, the only person you brought on that didn't have speed, and we joke about it, is Tim, but his job was to hold up play. So I think, yeah, like you said, it's basically it's forgetting all that stuff and just keeping at it.
Yeah. So we forgot to cover this last week, John, but you said later, you texted me or something, that our keys to victory,
Totally nailed it.
yep, were build off the momentum of last week,
We didn't do that.
keep a clean sheet,
We did that.
yes, and finish.
Yep. So the first and the third are things we should have done.
Yep.
The second one we did, and we it took us forever to build off of our momentum from last week, and then it took us forever to score a goal. So, but those all were keys.
Yep. So the first half didn't quite line up. Overall, I think came close. What's your final take on this game?
It wasn't pretty, but we maxed out on points, got a clean sheet, so I'm okay with what I saw, but we need to get better after each match. And we did from last one to this one. It just took us a little while to get that jump start. And I've seen it in training this week. The guys they're working on those things. They know what to do, and it's just sharpening it up for the next test. And we'll continue to see that on Friday.
Yep. Let's talk player of the game.
As we always do.
Yep, and I think we're both aligned to this. Why don't you take it away?
It's Nick Hutton.
Gotta be.
It's hard for me to find another guy who did his job better. And I don't mean the job of an attacker. I mean taking his marching orders from the coaching staff from the first half, coming off of the bench, and applying them immediately when he got on. Like, you could just tell something changed when he got on in our attack. There was almost like a will that we are going to score a goal, and I'm going to make it happen if I'm scoring it or I'm involved in the play. But Martin had a fantastic goal, but when you score two, you get man of the match honors.
that makes sense to me. I think when you look at the game in general, a lot of players felt like they were playing down to their competition, underloading on effort and trying to pull off sweet tricks and crazy dribbles and shit like that.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
That's just not this Aris team. Turns out isn't the team to do that against anymore. You have to take every team seriously in the league.
Well, the thing that sucked is it was like, we talked about it last night at training, and Max Stigward mentioned, he's like, I just lost focus for like 20 minutes of the game, and I was dicking around, and I caused like 2 or 3 counterattacks. Like, I just can't do that. Like, I know better. And it's just good to hear that kind of stuff. You know, you can make excuses like, yeah, you know what, I scored a penalty.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's the big worry when you play a team like Aris, right? Is that you don't take it seriously. You decide you'll take 20 minutes off mentally, and then
you get fucked and you tie them 1-1, and then you're wondering why you have to beat Duluth in a final game, a home game of the year to win the title. Yeah, weird.
How that's
Yeah, it's not like that happened before.
But not this time. 3 more points for Minneapolis City. Happy to see that. The NPSL North all over is in full swing. All the teams were in action this week, and there is a lot
Except
of
for Twin
soccer.
Stars.
Except for Twin Stars, you're right. Yep. And there's a lot of soccer to be had over the next few weeks around these parts. So let's do a quick whip around of the conference. So Dakota lost to Duluth 0-3. It was shutouts galore all weekend.
It really was.
Duluth traveled to Dakota and took advantage of, sounds like terrible weather. And about just 3 minutes there's 3 minutes of lost concentration from a Dakota team, and they scored 3 goals in those 3 minutes. Or was it 5 minutes? James Westfield, another new Duluth player,
some dude
dropped a brace.
Some dude not from the United States.
Yeah, it was 5 minutes. So he dropped a brace on the Fusion in the 56th and the 58th minute, and it was followed up by a goal from Alberto Diaz in the 61st.
He's good.
It sounded like a really fast-paced match, real end-to-end stuff. Probably partly due to how cold it was, so they had to get moving real good. But that was changed by the arrival of a really cold rain in that second half. So, and up there in Moorhead, Fargo Moorhead, that would suck.
Yeah.
Really
Go Taters.
Yep. Really tough start of the season for Dakota, and it's not going to get any easier when the Twin Stars come to their town on Wednesday.
No, it's not. So I was able to catch this one, and for me, it was like the total letdown by what looked like a stronger, more upbeat Fusion team that we saw more than we saw a week ago.
Yeah.
They seem to have fixed quite a few things that were bothering them on the day when they were in town versus us. But it was a spell of like the same old. When they melted down, Duluth totally took advantage, and it was just a short period of time, and a good team just absolutely exposed them. For me, Duluth is going through some pains right now, Nate, and trying to find their chemistry.
Yeah.
We knew that was going to happen because the fact they brought in all these new players, and even chemistry with some of the players from old, like Joe Watt didn't look good, and until he kind of figured out what his role was in the game.
Sure.
But like I said this before, they're a very talented side this season, but there were just spells in this one where they looked like they were on two totally different planets.
Yep.
And it took really good individual efforts to kind of keep them in the mix, and then that lapse, and then it was talent took over, and then the talent, obviously, they scored 3 goals fast.
It makes me wonder how this league would turn out if we had a different start and it was Minneapolis City starting the season playing the likes of Duluth, rather than each of us basically getting a 3-game free space.
Why do you think the people who make the schedules every year schedule our games in the middle of the season? It's not. It's a total honest question.
Yeah.
Like, we've never played Med City within the first 3 games of the year. We've never played Duluth within the first four or 5 games. This is the first time we're playing them within the first 5 games of the year.
Once, well,
except
we played the Memorial Day. We went up to Duluth.
But that was old. That was the old Duluth when they were built for that.
Yeah. So the Medics. Speaking of Med City, the Medics were finally in action this weekend. They drove out to Sioux Falls. They took on the Thunder, and they beat them 0-2 or 2-0, if you will. Goals from, I think, returner, right? Francisco Neto, who's back on the team.
Yes.
And Nicholas Rosler got Med City the expected result, I would say. Not a ton of reporting on this game outside of the match report, but this Med City team is one to keep an eye on, especially if their small core of returning players can gel quickly with the new blood that we know they've brought in, just like Duluth.
So I tried watching this one, but there was like a hurricane that seemed to have come through Sioux Falls. And on top of that, the stream was filmed on like pitch level on what looked like a cell phone.
Oh.
So cheers to leveling up and offering people who are not there your action, but on a budget approach. So I hope you can get at least a step stool or something for the camera person next match, so we can
get on a ladder in the wind.
Something. So they had some great play from their midfield for decent parts of the game. Med City did, but basically what I saw from Med City was they're constantly trying to just whip balls into Neto again.
Yeah.
And he's gonna be. They're gonna sink or swim with him.
Well, last year was Repetto, right?
Well, it was both of them.
And now he's gone, so it's the Neto show.
Yeah. I mean, I thought that Neto was their best player last year, even though Claudio Repetto was fantastic. But I thought overall, so they're still deploying a similar style, but it's more. They have more composure around it, but you can when you watch them, you can figure it out.
Right.
And Sioux Falls just like. They look tired. It looked like their guys have logged a lot of minutes, and they're feeling the effects of it.
Yeah, that's fair. So lots of soccer is going to be happening all over the state this Memorial Day weekend, John, including double game weeks for Twin Stars and Dakota, who will face off Wednesday. Also double game weeks for Med City and Aris, who play on Thursday. Friday is going to be us versus Sioux Falls. Saturday sees Dakota welcome Med City to town, and the Twin Stars will welcome Aris to Maple Grove. After this weekend, John,
where in Maple Grove?
It's not Osseo.
But that's where we're playing them.
No, yeah, we will play them in Osseo. This one is in the Maple Grove Stadium.
Undefeated.
After this weekend, I think we're going to see that Fusion and Aris are both going to struggle to find a win this year. And it's going to be a title race between the top 4
I'm going to call it.
Med City, Duluth, and Twin Stars.
I think this is the year that Aris wins a game.
You think so? You think they're going to beat Dakota?
I don't know who they're going to beat, but they win a game this year.
All right.
I'm calling it. It's my John Bismarck lock of the year.
All right.
No, it's not a lock, but I think that they have a different core of younger talent this year, and you could see good things there. And it's early on in the year. I think they're able to sneak something out of a game. at the end of the year.
Yeah, that would be
At least a tie.
I would like to see that. So let's talk. The table right now is a little weird because some teams have played 2 games, some teams have only played 1, some have played 3. But we technically sit at the top with a 2-win, 6-point situation here. Med City has also got two.
You're just completely screwing
this
this
all
up.
fucked up.
So
Med
basically,
City also has 3 points. Duluth with 7 because they've got a game on us.
Yeah, so we basically we have a game in hand on the rest of the folks, except for Med City, who has 2 games in hand.
Yeah.
So that's basically the difference right now.
Yep. And then all the way down there at the bottom is good old Dakota and Aris.
Yeah.
0 wins.
Thanks for coming.
Yep.
So it would not be fair, Nate, if we didn't mention that our young boys boot up the season on Saturday night as they this weekend. The U23s make their season debut on the road versus UPS Midwestern Conference side Union Dubuquois. Or is it Dubuque?
I think it's Dubuquois.
Yeah, so Union Dubuquois in Iowa.
Oh.
Currently, Union Dubuquois sits in last place in the in their conference. One that features some familiar faces, the likes of Cheeseburger in the Croatian Eagles.
Oh yeah.
But also the defending undefeated national champion UPSL side, the Milwaukee Bavarians. So they're currently at 0 wins, 1 draw, and 2 losses, and it's been a lot of a rough go for them, dropping points in like very close, high-scoring matches. But as it stands, our boys have been just buzzing around the training ground since coming back from their college spring seasons. They don't have to study for exams anymore.
Yeah.
They're just ready to go, and we're going to have to eventually fit in a feature show about the Rookery soon, Nate. But what we can tell you is that first year coach Jeremy Handler has a team that is ready and chomping at the bit to get into some live fire. And as their roster there's still some guys that are coming back. As it's finishing out, we'll definitely get an update on that, but we'll provide a recap on what we hear from coming out of Dubuquois once we have that. And did I say that they're pretty good at soccer, Nate?
The U23s?
Yeah, they're pretty good at soccer.
Yeah.
You're going to get a chance to see them here in a little bit.
Ooh, look out, Pribble.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Heads up.
You can tell which ones they are. They're youthful in appearance.
I mean, well, there's only one of them out here from what we're watching. So there's a curtain that...
they're behind the curtain?
They're behind, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, they're behind the curtain. So
all right.
We'll have to head over there after we're done recording.
So, excited to see these guys in action. Do you think there'll be a stream? Probably not.
Maybe. We'll check out UnionDebuquois.com.
Can we get someone on a step ladder?
Yeah, we can, yeah. It'll more be like a soapbox.
All right. Well, keep your eye open for it. Kickoff's going to be at 7. Something called the Loris College Rock Bowl.
Right.
In Dubuque.
I mean, it's better than Moose Knuckle Stadium that we played at the Open Cup.
Moose Knuckle Stadium was nice. That was a beautiful campus.
It was a beautiful campus. Right next to like a power plant. I mean, Aurora, Illinois is weird, man.
Yeah.
And we definitely saw it, but
it.
I can only imagine that Dubuquois is just as awkward.
Yeah,
but,
so if you're interested in making a long road trip after the city game Friday night.
Yeah, go ahead, do it.
Yeah, that'd be great. Mom jeans will be in full effect at that one.
Yep, absolutely.
I don't know what that means.
The young guys, their moms are going.
Oh, that's right.
Jeez, Nate. Also, all the kids are wearing those these days.
So speaking of moms, one famous mom will be coming to town on Friday, and that is Nigel's mom. As she follows him to Minneapolis to watch him play against us. Sioux Falls has,
she can't shush us at home.
Nope. We're welcoming Sioux Falls to Edor Nelson here on Friday. They have yet to win a game. They've played some.
They fought hard though.
Oh no, they beat Aris.
Yeah, they beat Aris.
So they've yet to win a real game.
We always forget about those.
Yeah,
games.
we did. So currently they have played 3. They've won 1, lost 2.
Man, your table in our notes is god-awful.
It's the copy-paste job didn't work from the stupid NPSL site. Looks garbage. Anyway, I think this is going to be the game that's, like I said, kind of the last warm-up game for Minneapolis City before we really start going on the road.
But one we can't take lightly.
Still that. So what are your keys to this game on Friday?
It's a trap. Don't fall into the trap. In our past games versus Sioux Falls, we've had a bit of an interesting, to say the least, go of it. We've fallen into big holes with playing down to the competition, like we talked about earlier with LaCrosse, for large spells of games and kept Sioux Falls in it.
Yeah.
Or we've fallen totally asleep and let them score first, and then we had to claw our way back out of the shit in order to...
That was the game where Goose had to score the long ranger.
Yep.
Brandon Bry
had to score, and set up the game winner. So, it's that's the kind of stuff we got to avoid.
Yep.
The second one is keep our shape. To stay out of that trap that I mentioned, we need to do a better job of having 10 men keep their shape on both the attacking side and the defensive side as a unit. In the Aris game, we were far too many times where we decided that for whatever reason to go a walkabout and totally forget that we had both an offensive and a defensive responsibility. Look at the dandelions. But when we figured that out on Friday, you can see that we create lots of scoring chances. And when we're good, we're really fucking good.
Yeah.
But when we're bad, we're bad.
We're bad. When we're bad, we're just as good as other teams in the league.
Right, yeah. So number 3 is max out on points.
Yep.
This is easily for me to say, and it's going to be in my mantra until we hit the road, is the road's hard in the NPSL North. It's a hard place to win, and we saw that in LaCrosse last year.
Yep.
At any given moment, it's a hard place to win. So we have to absolutely, during this quasi 5-game homestand, we do go to Osseo to play Twin Stars, which if you're going to play us anywhere, not you're not Minnetonka, maybe not Osseo.
Maybe you guys would be better off delaying this game too.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe there'll be some technical difficulties because they finally realized that we went undefeated there. And Whitney Brown holds the 4x400 relay record on that track. But anyways, all sorts of things. But whatever, the quasi homestand, we have to pick up max points because, man, there are definite fights going on about what is happening. I love it. Get him! If you guys could see this, there are literally 25 players arguing about whether or not a ball went out of bounds.
Yelling at Troy Lewis.
Yeah. Poor, the goalie's like, I don't know, I use my hands. Anyways, back to the show here. Road points are hard to come by, and last year that's what set us apart and made us able to win the league.
Yeah,
because we picked up whatever we could on the road. We didn't drop anything on the road, and we made people concede points to us on the road, which is what we have to do. So we could be the ones fighting off people from the top, or we could be the ones clawing at the top.
Right.
So we have to start out obviously with the obvious one. Let's be at the top.
Word. So let's watch us be at the top this Friday, May 24th, the start of Memorial Day weekend. Be there, Edor Nelson Field at 7 p.m. as the Crows welcome the Sioux Falls Thunder and Nigel's mom.
We need to find out what her name is. Or was it funnier that it's just
way
Nigel's
more fun
mom?
That it's Nigel's mom. Otherwise, we're getting too close.
Troy, why were they yelling at you? Yeah. Well, it's like 25 people were yelling at you.
That is all for tonight. Didn't you tell me I got a fucking... Didn't you tell him I got a clean sheet? Leave me alone?
Didn't you tell him you got a clean sheet last week?
Yeah.
Yeah. I conceded 0 goals. Stop yelling at me. Hey, they don't ask how, they ask how many.
That's what she said. What? That's all for tonight. Thanks as always to our sponsor, Summit Brewing. Go grab a Slugfest. It is the newest of the Summit offerings. I still have yet to find one. I got to get one on tap.
I don't think they are on tap. I think they're just...
I haven't found one in the can either, so maybe I got to...
I have one in my house. I'll bring you one.
Thanks. It's Juicy IPA. It's orange in hue. It's low in bitterness, but it's big in that citrus hop flavor that everyone demands. Get to your local watering hole and get some on tap. Psych, get to your local liquor store and grab a can today. Summit.
Psych, go to John's house.
A more meaningful brew since 1986. If giving back to the community means a lot to you, maybe it is time to give to the club that gives back. Minneapolis City is a 501c3 that provides a safe, reliable, and fun environment for young people to play the beautiful game. Look for us this summer playing with kids in parks and community centers all around the city, and consider a tax-deductible donation to a true city-focused organization. The season is here. Procrastination needs to be over. Grab your membership. It's only $80, and you get a season pass to your NPSL home games, all the U23 games, and any other game that's going to pop up in the meantime or afterwards. You also get an exclusive membership scarf, 2 flex tickets, so you can bring your friends, and a membership card that's going to get you 10% off at the club shop, and it's going to get you deals on Summit at our official game day bar, Palmer's. Plus, you get a vote in important club matters, like probably the kit that we're going to be voting on next season, the new scarf design, all that stuff.
Oh, we almost forgot. New board members.
Yeah, we'll announce those next week. They just came out today. I didn't get a chance to prep them. Visit mplscitysc.com and make it happen. Make that membership happen.
Hi, Derek.
Send us mail. It's easy. Not you, Derek. Hit us up on Twitter at The People's Pitch or through email at mcscpodcast@gmail.com. All questions, comments, and concerns are welcome. And finally, as always, you can hit the club up at mplscitysc. That's all for this week. We will see you on Friday. I have been Nate. That is John. Another 3 points on the docket against Sioux Falls Thunder. Let's hope.
You got huffed. Wish we could have had him come on, but he's playing.
I see the real you, yeah, boo, I found you. So don't ever frown when loneliness is around you. I'ma show you that someone should crown you, not clown you, but pursue virtue would never hurt you. Critical in distance, touch is digital, biblical. Till death, love is unconditional. Telling us we're a team and not two individuals. For you, I give my spleen, the spiritual and the physical. Loving what is fragile isn't always fixable, but I see what's invisible. See it with vex visuals. Grab my hand, hold it. We gon' think the unthinkable. I promise we will float, that our boat's unsinkable. I promise I'ma drown in you, let you drown in me. Reveal the recipe, you I love to overfeed. I love it. Let's proceed slowly, not go bad like moldy. Ravioli, rigatoni. Girl, I'm free falling for you. Still, temptation follows free. Just tell me when you fall for me, please. Just tell me when you fall. Free, girl, I'm free falling for you. Still, temptation follows free. Just tell me when you fall for me, please. Just tell me when you fall. Temptation's about to give in, but I'm staying true. If I sin, may I be forgiven for a few. What we got to lose? Nothing. You just gotta listen. Such a good girl. Great. Just made a bad decision. One and done. She looking fine. Nothing missing. But got my hands tied like I'm the villain. Evil only swallows pride, but I'm sometimes kidding. Finger licker kitty. After be the kittens. Cute shit. Kiss me softer than a baby's grip. New sense of high when she bites her lower lip. If she quit, make my heart skip, then snip. When we're together like ice cream mixed with some mint pepper. Shawty had to rescue my respiratory. Wants a man who's a man, that is mandatory. Only without her off the pad, like I never met with Dory. Help her write her story, take the qualms on her quarry. Girl, I'm free falling for you. Still, temptation follows free. Just tell me when you fall for me, please. Just tell me when you fall. Girl, I'm free falling for you. Still, temptation follows free. Just tell me when you fall for me, please. Just tell me when you fall. Selfie Thomas as the rollie. Always be my plus one. Shawty is my bogey. In it for the long haul, not for the trophy. Every day, feeling greater than Tony. Falling for her, and I think she falling for me too. Falling like two V's, make a W. Type of dude to build you up and make the rubble move. Type of dude to have my phone out all in front of you. Only cause you got my back. Presence always sets the mood. Never starts any trouble without any proof. No problems if there was, make the puzzle poof. Laugh it off. Goofballs, you should see the spoof. Girl, I'm free falling for you. Still, temptation follows free. Just tell me when you fall for me, please. Just tell me when you fall. Free, girl, I'm free falling for you. Still, temptation follows free.